Chapter 9. What metrics to track using social media. When it comes to reading the results of your efforts, social media has made it very easy for businesses to gauge their success. The numbers are there for everyone to see, and there are no lies here. Well, almost. You can't create goals if you don't have access to these metrics. And it is a good thing because it lets you make sense of what kind of strategy is working for the people and what you need to do to make it better. We talked about goals and focusing on numbers but not chasing them exclusively, right? Here's how that's done. Set a business goal to increase your conversion rate. Use that as a benchmark to create a social media strategy and create posts accordingly. Identify the metrics that indicate to you whether or not your strategy is working. Include the right keywords, hashtags and product tags along with your ads. Measure this using analytics. Engagement. This is the first metric you need to understand. But this is more of an umbrella term. It contains the following. Likes, comments, shares or retweets are all individual metrics of engagement that add up. If you are checking Twitter, you can get a report which summarizes all the engagement for a specific tweet. Then there is the engagement rate. This is the number of engagements divided by the reach or impressions. When the numbers are high, you can rest assured that people find your tweet or post interesting. Then there are your mentions. When it is organic, it means that you are able to create brand awareness without having to prompt action from the users. That's a good sign too. Just one of these numbers only gives you a partial picture of the impact of your post. To create a full strategy, you need to look at the context, which can only be obtained by looking at them all. So, if your post has a lot of likes but not shares or comments, it means that the impact is still limited. There is a lot to unpack there. It is not necessarily a bad thing, but it might mean that there is room to improve. Maybe you added a picture but the caption did not have a call to action. Work on that. But if you did have a call to action and still saw no shares or comments, that usually means that the post failed to impress the audience. Impressions and reach. These are two other metrics that often confuse businesses. If you are working towards improving or even understanding brand perception and awareness, you need to look at these. Here's how you know the difference. Impressions tell you how many times a user saw it on their timeline. Reach, on the other hand, tells you the possible number of unique viewers your post could have, reached. Typically, this is calculated by adding your number of followers and the follower count of the accounts that shared your post. What you learn from impressions is the potential your content has in terms of visibility on any given platform. You want to look at both impressions and engagement if you want to improve your brand awareness and inform your audience about a specific product or service you talk about in the said post. If your post has a lot of impressions but not as much engagement, you can conclude that people saw it but were not impressed. So, it's time to work on the content. Referrals and conversions. Typically, e-commerce websites start by keeping track of these two metrics because they are directly linked to marketing and sales. This is the goal of every business. But you will need to devise a publishing strategy with trackers if you want to understand the traffic analytics of your website. Through this, you can learn if the traffic is coming in from social media and also learn about mentions on Twitter, etc. using tools like Sprout. Referrals tell you about the users who actually land on your website. You can see where these users came from, and typically, you can see your social media traffic under a separate tab no matter the tool you are using to get the information. Conversion is about the purchases made on your site. A viewer has been converted into a paying customer. A social conversion is one that happened because of the content posted on a social media platform and it all happened in one go. You should also learn about click-through rate or center when it comes to both posts and ads. This is the number which tells you how many times a user has clicked on the content of your posts. It gives you the data on impressions because they saw the ad or post too. When the center numbers are high, it means you ran a good ad and got results. This can be measured using email links, call to action buttons, and specific social media ads too.